If you hate typing on a virtual keyboard, you don't have a lot of options these days. You can buy a bulky external keyboard dock for your tablet. You could just kind of suck it up. Or you could try out Asus's new ePad slider, the first Android tablet with a slide-out QWERTY keyboard. Let's see how it works. So Asus's ePad slider has a lot of the specs we've come to kind of know and love on other Android honeycomb tablets. It's got a 10.1-inch 1280 by 800 screen. It's got a 1 gigahertz NVIDIA Tegra 2 CPU. It's got a gig of RAM, and this version has 16 gig of storage. But what really makes this tablet stand out is its ability to do what its name says, which is slide. So here you can see that we have a full QWERTY keyboard here, something that you can't get on any other Android tablet to date, and you really are forced to go buy an external dock, or as is the case with the ePad slider, get a kind of bulky dock that attaches. So looking at this keyboard here, you can see you've got all the keys and you even have a dedicated number row, but if you were to stack this next to a typical netbook, you would see that the keyboard is much smaller and more cramped. And if you were to start typing on it, you'd notice that the keys are a bit stiff, and we found that we really had to get used to typing on this because sometimes we'd hit a letter and the letter wouldn't register because we didn't strike it hard enough. From this keyboard, you can navigate around the desktop a little bit using the arrow keys, but that's sort of like trying to use Windows without a mouse. And you have a home key here, a back key, a menu key, which kind of emulate some of the functions that you would get by touching the screen. You also can control the brightness using a function key combination, and you can turn on and off the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth directly from the keyboard. But you really start to feel like you might want a pointing device if you're not going to touch the screen, and that's where the USB port on the side comes in, because we can take any old external mouse and we can hook it up here, and we can actually, we'll get a little mouse pointer that'll show us how to navigate around the desktop in kind of notebook-like fashion. You know, you have your advantages with the keyboard here, but some of the disadvantages are, of course, that it's not as good as a standard netbook keyboard. Most external keyboard docks give you bigger space, and of course you don't get a palm rest, so your hands will hang off a bit. But it definitely beats the tar out of using one of the device's virtual keyboards because it's a lot more accurate for touch typists especially. Now, obviously this adds quite a bit of bulk to the frame of the ePad slider. You'll notice that it's got about an inch wide bezel here, which is significantly wider than other devices that we've seen. It's about 0.7 inches of thickness on the side, and this is 2.1 pounds, which is a lot heavier than something like the 1.2 pound Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1 or other tablets that are in the 1.4 to 1.6 pound range, like the Lenovo IdeaPad K1 or the Toshiba Thrive. Looking around this device, of course, we see that it's got a number of ports here. On this side here, you'll see there's a micro SD card slot, volume up down, and a power button, and also a little tiny reset button, which if you hit it will restart the device. So if you're stuck, if you're crashed, you can hit that. You hope you never have to, but you don't need a paper clip, just use your nail. Moving around the side here, you can see that we've got a full-size USB port here, which is good not only for plugging in an external mouse or, heaven forbid, another external keyboard, but also for attaching an external hard drive or a USB flash drive. So overall, we really like this device if you want the keyboard. If you do not want the keyboard, we strongly suggest that you go for something thinner and lighter, like the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1. Just taking a quick look, here's the Galaxy Tab 10.1, which, as you can see, is significantly thinner and lighter, and also actually has a brighter, more vibrant display than the Asus ePad slider, but it has no keyboard. And of course, if you're willing to lug around a much bigger keyboard that adds significantly more weight than Asus's ePad Transformer, might be for you as well. But if you want a built-in keyboard that goes everywhere you go and allows you to really focus on content creation, then the Asus ePad slider is really your best choice and your only choice in today's market.